Kyle Novak, the new race director for the Verizon IndyCar Series, one of the many changes this year after Brian Barnhart, the longtime race director, has moved on to be team president at Harding Racing. Novak will call the green flag here. Rossi trying to stay right with Wickens. Here they come as the pace car heads to pit road. Green flag, 2 laps to go.
Rossi's close enough.
Looking, turn 1, he slides, there's contact, Wickens spins, Bourdais goes through. Sebastian Bourdais is leading with Graham Rahal behind him.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of disappointment. I mean, it's, you raced for her, well, I don't even, it felt like 3 hours, 2 hours, I don't even know how long the race was, but like, you know, and we didn't put a wheel wrong. We did all the right things, and the pit stops were great. The strategy was fantastic. We more or less controlled the race, and then on that final restart, it just all kind of goes downhill. I mean, I didn't want to defend too much because it was so dirty offline, so I broke really late. Told Alex, you know, if you want to take it, go for it, but you're not going to make it. And I thought he would have been level-headed enough just to settle in, and I knew he was looking, but I also figured maybe he was trying to defend for himself as well from behind. And I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk from time to time about it. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, we have a lot of respect for each other off track. We're good friends. We train together, so it's just a bad situation. I mean, again, I respect him enough that I didn't think he would be that kind of guy today.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, restarts, that's the best chance you have. They activated overtake late for the restart, which they normally don't allow, and Rob, I don't think, was given the memo, so I had a huge run on him, and you know, he defended his position, which he has every right to do, but you can't move in reaction, so he put me pretty late onto the marbles, and it's pretty difficult to pull these things up when you're on the marbles like that.
It's time to bring the action! Really bad start by Will Power. He lost positions. Pagenaud coming up the outside, preferred braking line, but Will wants it back. Here comes teammate on teammate. Power on the inside. Pagenaud got hit by Rahal.
Rahal into the back of Pagenaud. Pagenaud with the perfect 360, but you have to think there's damage to the back of the 22 car.
Well, that will definitely get a served penalty and a nose to tail. The chief stewards, they don't mind wheel to wheel, but that will definitely bring you a penalty. I know that.
For avoidable contact for sure. And Paul.
Simon Pagenaud bounced out of this race at the very first turn. He's with Marty.
And obviously very frustrated. You only make it one corner, and that's not a good thing for a former Long Beach winner. What was your take on the contact by the 15?
I'd have to review the video, but it seems like felt like he never broke. So yeah, it's a real shame. So now the shame is the car is totally repairable. We just need to change the toe links, and we're good to go back out. So could be very costly in the championship, and it's weird call. Real shame. We had a really good DXC technology car this weekend. I don't know what else we could have done. So on to the next one.
Graham is getting a drive-through penalty right now. You hear him drive right behind you. Does that kind of fit the crime, you think?
Well, my race is done. I didn't even make one corner, so I had a car to win the race today. So I don't think anything is gonna solve my pain or my team's pain. So it is what it is.
All right, and he mentions the car is fixable. They just need to get it back to pit road, but I don't think that's going to happen, guys. So Simon Pagenaud out here early and very disappointed.
Let's get to Robert.
Well, he started fifth and he finished fifth, Lee, but in between, the story was pretty exciting for Graham Rahal. Hell of a comeback, brother.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, obviously, you know, sorry for Simon, and you know, that's not the way we like to do things, and just like St. Pete, I mean, the rear's locked. I barely made the corner. I think Dixon bailed out because he thought I wasn't going to, and but I'm you know, and it hurt my race too. Obviously, getting a penalty, going to the back, and then you know, having to battle our way through. I think we were probably the one car that had a shot at Rossi today. We made some changes there for the race, and the Total car was honestly, it was fantastic in the race. So I'm really disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed, you know, in the way that it all began, but I'm proud of the Total team for the way that it finished. And everybody put their heads down. We made a lot of passes today. I passed more cars here today than I passed in a long time, and you know, we had a lot of fun. But we want to win, you know, and yes, this is a good start to the year, and obviously with our United Rentals Turns for Troops, we raised a lot more money for the veterans today. 85 times 50, you can do the math. I can't do it right now, but you know, a great day overall.
What's happened to Charlie Kimball here?
This
in
car's
the
dirty.
Receiver Carlin entry. So something happened, turn 17.
See a lot of mud on the top of the side pod, so he's been off somewhere. Graham Hall,
yeah,
broken front wing.
But your call.
Yeah, he's got a broken front wing. You could probably run on that because you're not going super fast. It just depends if it's rubbing on the tire or not.
Well, guys, when Charlie Kimball went off, we just missed that radio transmission where he thinks his front tie rods are broken, so he's going to be coming in, and we're getting ready to see a replay of exactly what happened here.
It's turn 16, final corner. Not sure if he had help from behind or if he just lost it on the throttle, but pretty big fence or wall Armco impact to the front end of that Carlin car of Charlie Kimball.
Looks like he might stop on track. Yeah, he's got an anti-stall, so the motor is stalled. And this will bring out a full course caution.
So it's not just Will Power who is a victim in these conditions, so too Charlie Kimball, right, Katie?
Yeah, and we eventually did see that contact between you and Ed Jones. Charlie, what did you feel?
I was just going through the corner and he ran into the back of me, and apparently the stewards reviewed it and no action taken. I vehemently disagree with that, because when you're driving your race, especially in the wet, you got to be conscious where the other cars are. Yeah, it's hard to see, but at the same time, that's just a dumb move. He's not a rookie anymore. He needs to not be making rookie mistakes like that.
You rejoin us with a terrific battle between two championship-winning drivers in the Bourdais and IndyCar Series. Scott Dixon executes a move on Simon Pagenaud, and that PNC Bank Ganassi Honda is flying. But Scott Dixon has a huge margin, a huge gap to try and catch up on the race leader, Joseph Newgarden.
A nice place for Simon Pagenaud, but you were not happy with Gabby Chaves. Kind of walk us through what was going on the racetrack, and it was during that last run as well.
Yeah, well, we had a really good race going. I think we potentially could have been in top 5. So very frustrated with Gabby. He's 2 laps down, and I just got stuck behind him, which gave an opportunity to Dixon as I was trying everything I could to make it happen. But it's a real shame, because when it's not your day, it's just not your day. You'll have better days later, but you want to have everybody on your side when you have a good day. And at the moment, he doesn't have me on his side, let me tell you. But it's a real shame. I think the Menards 22 was really good from where we started. Strategies with Kai Moyer to go on rain when we went on rain was a good choice. And yeah, I thought it was a really good pace. We just started from too far back.
And we should make the point, at the time you were running 10th. He was 2 laps down. You also had words for him after the race. Did you go see him, and what did you have to say to him?
Driver stuff.
Oh, driver stuff. I love that, driver stuff. But, you know, reminding a young driver kind of the position where, you know, like you said, someday it's going to be his day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've all been there. I've been in his position, and my side, I played it smart. But, you know, it is what it is. He's, you know, I can't comment for him. You could ask him the question, but you know, I'm not going to make too much of a deal about it. It's just a shame that it ruined my race, but we'll come back stronger. It's Indy soon, and that's what's going to give me a smile back on my face.
15th in the championship standings right now, and let's put a smile on your face. I know that doesn't put a smile on your face, but back at Barber Motorsports Park, we mentioned the little chat between Simon Pagenaud and Gabby Chaves there. Matt Weaver of Auto Week shooting this video that we have now provided for you, and a little heated argument there. We found Gabby Chaves here, and what's your side of this whole story, Gabby?
You know, it's a tough situation, right? Overnight, we had an early pit stop in the first part of the race before, you know, it got postponed. We lost that fuel advantage we had overnight because everyone got to refuel. And it put us in a tough situation. We have to restart a lap down, right? So our whole strategy depends on trying to get a yellow and holding our track position, right? And some guys think that the track belongs to only them, right? That they're the only guys on track. And everyone else who was faster, at that point, I was only a lap down 2 liters. So we're still on our strategy, right? We don't know what's going to happen. At that point, everyone who's faster, as soon as they got right up next to me that were on the lead lap, I'd let them go. Simon was the only one who couldn't drive up to me, and I understand his frustration, but I mean, he's the one who has to save fuel to make his strategy work. That's not our fault, right?
Right. So there you go. That's the side of the story from Gabby Chaves. He did tell me, though, I'm excited for the month of May, ready to move on from the beginning of the season, Lee.
Marty, thank you very much. And
you can hear the throttle application.
Gonna have to get closer.
Ray. Just a little bit less than
hit the push to pass. This is where Rossi locked up his brakes again. And he's going down. Rossi's off in turn 3. Hunter Ray goes through to the race lead.
Goodness. Oh, God, that must be painful.
Ryan Hunter-Reay hates that for a teammate, but he's sure pretty happy for himself.
And look who's second. Will Power in a Chevy.
Now this is going to mix up the point standings, that's for sure. And that was the message to Alexander Rossi from his pit lane. Think of the big picture.
This happened just because of the pressure that Hunter-Reay was putting on him. He's right in his gearbox. Look at this.
So bumpy. Look at the cars jostle around.
Goes to brake.
There, it's locking up.
Cars don't turn too well when they lock up the front brakes.
And now one of the tires flat on the 27. And a win getting away. Now he's got to try and salvage some kind of a finish.
Oh, he's got to be careful the cars that are coming up behind him. All Hunter-Reay has to do right now is finish the race.
Let's quickly go to Rick DeBrew.
Well, Alexander Rossi just got out of his car. Obviously a very difficult, disappointing, and very frustrating day for Alex. Alex, let's talk about those last few laps.
I don't really have an answer for you. Need to talk to these guys. We don't understand, so I don't have anything to say.
All right, once again, very frustrated, as you can imagine, from Alexander Rossi.
Trying to figure out what happened that left him at the checkered flag. A disappointing 12th position.
Wow. Look at Wickens trying to challenge Rossi. Rossi having none of that, and that's what I was talking about. Elbows out today.
Elbows out like St. Pete. He just muscled Wickens right off the track. He lost a couple positions. Wickens will be like, hey, we've done this before. I'm not going for that again.
Sato on the outside, which is the wrong side at 5, but he's going to have a go at it anyway. Around the outside of Alexander Rossi. Does it come off? Yes, it does.
Rossi fights back up the hill. He's going to stuff it in here.
Side by side,
Sato
contact.
and Rossi.
Remember what Rossi did to Wickens? Wickens pushed off.
What a pass. But that might come under the scrutiny. He's already been looked at for the same move.
Yeah, but they looked at that move and deemed it to be racing appropriate earlier, so I don't see anything different about what Rossi just did there.
I think that was great racing. It was wheel to wheel, tire to tire banging. I'm cool with that.
Sato, Graham Rahal, the teammates with Kelly.
Yeah, nice day here for Team RLL. Takuma Sato, 4th place finish. Not only your best finish this season, but easily your best finish here at Road America. What was the difference out there today?
Well, I mean, we had a fast car. That's the difference. I mean, under the circumstances, we were a little struggle at the beginning of the season, but Graham and I, and obviously working really closely with the engineering side, and we share a lot of stuff, and we pick up a lot of speed at Road America. So, I mean, this is a great track, you know, for the drivers. You commit, the time is always reflect. You can overtake on the track, and I think the fans really enjoyed today because, you know, without yellows today, I think we had enough great, you know, excitement in the race.
Yeah, there was some excitement there in the race. In fact, a moment between you and Alexander Rossi. No action taken, by the way. How did you see things?
Well, in the high security of the professional racing, you shouldn't be really bumping each other. Obviously, I gave him the room enough, and he came inside. He just couldn't stop it and then come into me and bumping each other. He did exactly the same things to the Wickens at the start. And I'm surprised the steward didn't take any action. I'm okay with the side-by-side by all means, but just don't touch me.
All right, obviously, Takuma Sato felt like he had done his the right move there and thought there should be action taken for Rossi. Congrats on a great finish, though.
It was a tough day. You know, we started 5th, finished 5th, but I feel like that's not the whole story. You know, we got up to 3rd on the start, got pushed off by Rossi at a 6th there, which I thought was a little rude. But you know, fell back to 7th, came back to you know, the 5th in the end. But in the end, you know, we had a great car. We could fight for podiums all day. We just didn't have the track position to do it.
You mentioned the lap 1 thing that we're seeing right now with Alexander Rossi, and so there were other frustrations throughout the race today too, weren't there?
There's a few. I was frustrated a couple times. I mean, those Rahal cars must have been really trimmed because when I was trying to get around Sato earlier, I was on push to pass and he wasn't, and I wasn't gaining on him. So they must have done a good job on their aero configuration. But that being said, I wouldn't say they had the ultimate fastest car. They were just really hard to get around.
And Marty, it looked like Alexander Rossi was set for at least a top 5, maybe more running up front, and then worse feeling what? You can't steer the car.
Yeah, the camber shims fell out in the kink on the left front side, so pretty detrimental anywhere you go. So couldn't steer the car, as you said, and we just had to kind of nurse it back to pit lane. And From there, we're doing a huge amount of laps on one tank of fuel, and we made it, fortunately, and we salvaged something. But yeah, hugely disappointing. I mean, I think the Napa Auto Parts Andretti Honda was good enough for fourth, for sure. Possibly a podium if we had a good final stint there. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be today.
For the issues, you were providing a lot of action, and already Robert Wickens and Takuma Sato have commented a little bit. Neither were all that pleased. We're going to let you look at it, and this is the start on the opening lap with Robbie.
Yeah. Yeah. Pass him on the inside.
You see no issue?
No issue whatsoever.
Okay. I'm not a racing driver. I'm making no judgment. Now, the next one was with Takuma Sato. He was a little more vocal in that he just didn't like that there was contact there. How did you see that one?
The exact same as the first one, so that's why I did it again. And obviously, the race stewards didn't see any issue with it. So I mean, it's IndyCar racing, man. This is hard stuff. This is wheel to wheel. We talk about a lot in the drivers' meetings that the primary responsibility is the overtaking car, but once you're alongside, it's your corner. So it's their decision to stay on the outside.
We enjoyed the entertainment. Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out around, too.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Tough, disappointing day for Alexander Rossi today. From a top 5, maybe 3rd or 4th, and he finishes 16th. Now to a tie for 2nd in the championship.
Oh, what's happened to Ed Carpenter?
Come on. Ed Carpenter got massively loose, might have brushed the wall. Let's hope yellow for James since that they don't pull out a yellow, and it goes yellow. So we're gonna have a shootout here, and it's gonna be a tire shootout.
5 cars on the lead lap. You'd have to think they all come to pit lane if this finishes under green.
Hit the wall coming out of 2.
This is not what James wanted. Like I said earlier, there's a piece of debris right in the middle of the track, so they have to go yellow for this. This is, as we see now, he gets really loose, sideways, crossed up.
Oh,
Sato. Sato hits his front wing.
That's terrible for Sato, who was running 5th and so strong.
Look at his crossed hands, big slide, sprint car style, and Sato had really nowhere to go.
Sato straightened out Ed Carpenter. Carpenter would have spun, but Sato saved the day for Ed.
And guys, I'm listening to James Hinchcliffe's radio, and there's a big battle. Do we come in or do we not? The team was telling him there's just 4 laps to go, but James made the final call. The pits are open. We'll see if James comes in, but the radio call was, nope, he is not going to come in, guys.
Well, Ed's coming down the pit lane. He's got damage. Ray Hall.
Newgarden is in. Now, is there time to do the wave around for the lap cars?
Now
is there time?
This is Phoenix all over again when Wickens was leading and Wickens stayed out. Now Wickens has come in, and it was Newgarden with fresh tyres that spoiled the Wickens party in Phoenix. Here we go. Is it going to be the other way around, Kev?
So Joseph Newgarden will take the tires. It's an empty pit lane because it's only lead lap cars. This is a really quick stop. There was no big hurry. He's not racing anyone off pit road. So can he make his way back through what? 4 cars on the lead lap. Robert Wickens also took tires back out, running side by side off the pit lane with Simon Pagenaud.
This could be bad news for Hinch.
Well, they got to get them lined up first, but they got to let the lap cars pit next and then get them lined up. So they might run out of time to really do anything. But if they do go green and they're lined up nose to tail, he's dead meat.
I don't know how this is going to work out because there'll be 1 to go next time by. And the guys that took tires.
I don't
not called anything here.
I don't think this is going to work out for the timing of how many laps there are, because mass confusion at the back of the field here.
Paul. Be ready here. Let's be ready.
Get ready, and this is elevated Spencer Piggott to 2nd, and Takuma Sato with a wounded race car up to 3rd.
But there's so many cars for them to get around in 1 lap if the pace car comes in.
Lights are off. That means we should be going green this time by.
No,
lights are back on.
All right, amigo. You are coming to the white flag. I do believe by the rule that you will be the winner of the Iowa Corn. 200, 300.
Well, not the way you would want the race to end. We were going to hope for a shootout or just a straight finish, but this got confusing.
It was close, though. I'd say within 1 lap.
Pitting cost Newgarden 2 positions. Piggott now, his best finish of his career. Newgarden back to 4th, who dominated all weekend.
And Sato on the podium as well. So almost guaranteed podiums for Newgarden and Wickens have now evaporated.
Well, there are a lot of things to go through for Joseph Newgarden, who had a really dominant day and a good result in 4th, but you're thinking, I'm sure, what could have been. First, let's go through when James got by you. Did you know that that was for position?
Yeah, I mean, I was being told where it was at, and I think I was more surprised at how much he picked up. I think we had a great car today. The Hitachi car right from the beginning of the weekend's been solid. Team Chevy did a great job. We had a good package. So I can't complain much. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow. You see Hinch going by me here. We just didn't have it at the end, and sometimes you can't forecast that completely. We put on the car what we thought was going to be right for today, and I think for the first half of the race it was. I thought we had a great car, and it just went away from us. So tried to do what we could to get competitive there at the end, and we just ran out of time. And again, you don't know how that's going to play out. You try and make the best bet possible, but the team did a great job. I think we picked up some valuable points. So look, we'll chalk it up to it was a great day. Could have been, but wasn't. So we'll go on to the next one and try and make it happen.
Robert Wickens drove a hell of a race, had a podium, a sure podium. Your call to come in for tires or the team's?
No, it was the team's, but I mean, I don't know. I guess they said there's going to be one lap remaining, so we pit thinking, we're at least going to be on the podium, and then they just threw the checkered. So we threw away podium, we threw away good points.
Tell you what, though, Paul Tracy and Townsend are like, this guy doesn't drive like a rookie, and this place kind of threw you coming in here, but what a performance. All the guys you passed today, all the way to get to third.
It was a good day. I mean, the car was great. Hinch showed it. I mean, I think Hinch is exploiting everything this car could do today, and I was just driving a good car. So, hats off to the team. I mean, those 50-50 things I guess the series said there was going to go green, white, checkered, and then they just threw the checkered flag. So we figured we would go new tires, because why not? We knew that Joseph was going to do it, so we figured we would still be third and see what happened there, and then they just threw the checkered flag, so we fell back to fifth.
Here comes the red machine, the Lucas Oil entry of Canada's Robert Wickens.
Oh, that's going to be tight through there. Oh, early touch. Oh, my God.
Oh! That's Robert Wickens. And his teammate is into him as well, James Hinchcliffe. That was ugly. That was frightening.
Big impact.
That was a very scary accident.
Speaking of Andretti Autosport, let's go there now with the team principal. Michael Andretti is with Katie.
And Lee, he is on Ryan Hunter-Reay's stand throughout the race. So, Michael, first of all, is Ryan okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He didn't hit that hard. So, he just was caught off guard. He didn't realize that Robert was there, and, he saw what happened. So, disappointing first lap of the race. I mean, it's just crazy. I think maybe Robert could have backed off a little bit there, but, the way it goes.
You and I have sat here watching the replay several times. As a driver, what do you think happened?
What I think is, Robert should have backed out of it. He was on the inside. He was only halfway up, not even halfway up on Ryan's left rear, and being the first lap, there was nothing to gain there, and he was in Ryan's blind spot, so Ryan didn't see him. So it was just two guys trying to go into one spot.
Yeah, and several perspectives to look from. Well, here, Jan.